Hello everyone! It's Thursday, so it must be another voice video. So welcome to the channel. I spoke last time very briefly about how we use our voice to create our reality. I hope you've had a think about that because I think it's so important, isn't it? How we use our voice to put out frequencies, vibration and energy into the world, and then in that way we create our reality. But I wonder if you ever have thought about the effect sound has on your body, your voice on your body. So it's a huge topic. I recognize that we won't be able to cover everything in today's video, but you already know that noise, external noise, has a huge effect on your body, right? So if you've had builders in, or somebody's drilling in the street, or like me, sometimes I have very noisy neighbors, it has a detrimental effect on you, on your mental health, on your body, on your emotional well-being, all of those things. And of course, the opposite is also true, that if you are in a place where you're surrounded by beautiful sound, in a concert or a show or somewhere wonderful, it just lifts you, doesn't it? It makes you feel so good and so happy. And of course, that's all external. What happens though inside your body when you use your voice? Now, as we said, you use vibration and frequency and energy to create things in your life, but you create it in your body as well, because we are vibrational things. We vibrate all the time, don't we? So when you use your voice, it vibrates right through your body. I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people don't like hearing their voices on recordings. And the reason for that is because they hear their voice, they experience their voice in a different way. The only way they can. No one else can hear their voice the way that they can. And we all have that, because we hear our voice through the bones and the liquid and the structure of our head and our face. That's how we experience our voice. Some of it escapes, and so it does go through the airwaves and into our ears as well. But the majority of sound that we hear from ourselves is in our head. And by that I don't mean it's in your head and it's weird. No. It's just the vibration is right there. So when you record something for the first time, you hear it just through the airwaves, and it's very weird. A lot of people don't like to hear their voices that way, but other people hear your voice like that all the time, and so they are used to you sounding the way that you do, okay? But it does bring me back to that question. Have you ever thought about the impact of your own voice on your own body, since they are both vibratory things, right? And so this sends us into a whole other area of voice production. It's about healing, using sound for healing. Now, of course, there is sound therapy in the world, we know that, but there is a lot of sound healing done through voice, chanting and vocalizations, and these are not new. We know this from ancient times. It's been used in medicines and healing people spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally. It's such an important thing. So can you imagine if someone else can use their voice on you to heal you, what your own voice does? It absolutely affects your body on a deep molecular level. It really does. It can vibrate your cells and your tissues. And so in my last video, I talked about how important it is to be aware and mindful of the kind of sound that you put out into the world. But this video, I want to say it's also very important to be mindful of the sound that you put into your body. So even though you are supposedly giving your voice away, and this is what made me think of this today, is, you know, we give our names away, don't we? We give it when we speak to people, we give our names. We never, very seldom, call ourselves by our own name, do we, when we speak to ourselves? And the same thing is true for our voice. We give it away. We think we do, but we don't. It's still vibrating within us. And that's the thing. So if you speak to someone, say, for example, if you're nervous or anxious, you'll feel a tightening in your body. Your voice will go high pitched, and probably you'll speak very fast. And that has a huge impact on your body. It's weird. It's a sort of catch-22 thing. If you do that, your body will respond by tightening and feeling anxious and, you know, scared and nervous. And the same thing is true that, say, for example, you're angry with somebody and you are, you know, shouting and screaming and being forceful and loud. The same thing happens. You think you are only giving that to them, but in fact, you're giving it to yourself. Your body is responding. You can feel the fire in your body from the anger, can't you? I'm sure you've all experienced this. And this is why it's so important to be mindful about how we use our voice, not just in the world, but in our own bodies. Like I said, we're all vibrating all the time. Our voice is vibrating. And so we affect our voice really deep. I mean, our voice affects our body in a really deep, deep way. The problem is, if we are habitually angry or habitually speaking in a nervous, anxious way, like I said, it can become a habit. It can be habitual. And then your body really responds to that. And that's a really bad thing, because you will make yourself sick. You will. I know that, you know, metaphysical people talk about the fact that your thought processes can make you sick. So can your voice. So can your voice. So I urge you to be mindful. Now, we know that in ancient cultures, sound was revered. Sound was used as part of healing therapies. And I'm thinking specifically of ancient Chinese medicines and the way that they treat the body in a holistic way. And we know that the most ancient record of using sound as a form of healing was in ancient Greece, where people used sound and they were convinced that sound healing brought balance to the mind and the body. Of course, today we know sound therapy is a normal thing in our world. We don't necessarily use the voice, although there are people who use it. And I have to say, I have trained to use that too. It is an area I'm extremely interested in. And it's so fascinating. It really, really is. But for the most part, nowadays we use other kinds of sonic instruments to heal people. And we know that low frequency sound, for example, heals people in a way that, you know, it soothes them, it regenerates tissue even, it helps circulation, it helps with pain relief. We know these things. And so, you know, as I said before, that's how important sound is on the body. And I really urge you to think about how important your voice is on your body. So every time you use your voice, think about perhaps what goes on inside your body. Are you being kind to your body? Are you freeing your body? Or are you tensing it and making it ill by the way that you use your voice? You know, I think it's so, so important. I know this is a very short video and there's a lot more to be said about sound. and the effects of sound on our body. But I hope that this will find some resonance with you. Sorry for the pun. But if it does, I'd be so thrilled if you'd let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because I read everything and I respond to everything. And as I said, this is such a fascinating area of sound and voice. I hope you are fascinated and interested in it too. So if you liked the video, I'd love it if you'd shared it and liked it. And if you haven't done so yet, it'd be awesome if you subscribed to the channel. I would love to not only keep the channel alive, I want YouTube to know that I'm here in the sea of videos. It would be awesome. So until next time, I shall speak to you very soon. Mwah.